Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the second video of my end of the season series. Today we will talk about NHL trophies. Yeah, I know the trophies will not be handed out for quite some time. It will be, I think, the ceremony is after the final is complete, after the Stanley Cup is handed out. But I think now is a good time to talk about the trophies as the regular season is coming to an end. And we're talking about not playoff trophies, but regular season trophies. So I got the most important trophies on the board behind me. Let's get it on and hand out the trophies for the 2023-2024 NHL regular season. Okay, here we go. I got 8 trophies on the board. I do not have the Art Ross and the Rocket Richard on the board because these trophies will be straight handed out by the numbers and there will be no discussion. On the other trophies there might be a discussion, and let's start off with the one where I expect the heaviest discussion this year, the Hart Trophy, the MVP of the league. 4 players and yeah, one will not even make it to the final, which is, it's pretty sad. Because these 4 players had such great seasons. Let's start off Nathan MacKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche, Nikita Kucherov of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Connor McDavid, Edmonton Oilers, and of course Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs. There could be an argument made for all of these 4 players winning the trophy. Finally, I think who will win it? Yeah, I think it will be Nathan MacKinnon. Yeah, Nathan MacKinnon, more than 50 goals in the race for the Art Ross on the day of recording. Absolute leader of the Colorado Avalanche. 35 home games in a row with a point, second behind Wayne Gretzky. The other guys having fantastic seasons as well, but MacKinnon, I think MacKinnon stands out. Next, Calder. Names on the board, I do have Luke Hughes from the New Jersey Devils, who was thrown to the Wolves this year. He has so much potential and can be such a good defenseman. I have another defenseman on the list, which is Brock Faber from the Minnesota Wild, who is really doing very, very well. I do have Luke Evangelista from the Nashville Predators on the list. And yeah, because the Predators having such an amazing season and nobody pays attention. Not that many people pay attention to it because it's Nashville. And I think that's a crime. But I think who will win it is, yeah, Connor Bedard, Chicago Blackhawks. He will be the franchise star for a long time, as long as he decides to stay in Chicago, as long as they will be able to give him some supporting cast. The Blackhawks should be a playoff contender within 2 or 3 years. Bedard is so good, and he just got his feet wet in the NHL. He was drafted last year. It's his first season. He is fantastic. Next up, Selke, best defensive forward. Normally, this was the award that was won every year by Patrice Bergeron. This year, he is retired. He's not here anymore. So there will be some new names. I do have Sebastian Aho of the Carolina Hurricanes on the list. I do have former winner Alexander Barkov from the Florida Panthers. But I think this year, this award will go, I think the first time, to an all-time great. I think Sid the Kid, Sidney Crosby, will win the Selke this year. He is the absolute leader of the Pittsburgh Penguins and his defensive game is underrated. Yeah, he is one of the all-time greats and his defensive game is still underrated. He is so good. Next up, Vezina, the best goaltender. Again, I have 4 names on the board. Connor Hellebuyck from the Winnipeg Jets. I have to talk about him? No, thank you. Okay. Thatcher Demko from the Vancouver Canucks. You can really feel it the last weeks when Demko is down to injury. The Canucks are not the same. They definitely need him for the playoffs. I have Jussi Saros from the Nashville Predators, who, after an iffy start, got really good in the second half of the season. I have Sergei Bobrovsky from the Florida Panthers, doing such a great job for the Panthers, and one of the reasons they are where they are, the play of Sergei Bobrovsky. But I think in the end it will be Connor Hellebuyck's trophy for, I think, the second time. He is the reason the Jets are where they are. in the playoffs. Maybe second in the division. We'll see about that. There are still some games left to be played. But the Jets, without Hellebuck, this wouldn't be the same. Their backup, Laurent Brossoit, had good times, but yeah, Hellebuck is the star. He's the starter, clearly. And I think the best goalie in the season 2023-2024. Next up, Norris, the best defenseman in the league. I have 3 names on the list. I do have, the guys who it will be decided between: Cale Makar from the Colorado Avalanche, Quinn Hughes from the Vancouver Canucks, and Roman Josi from the Nashville Predators. Don't sleep on Josi. He had such a great second half of the season. He is third in points among defensemen, and I think his defensive game is above the defensive play of the other 2 guys. But I still think it will be between Hughes and Makar. Their stats are not that different. They have about the same time on ice. They have about the same points per game. Makar has some more goals. And he has the advantage. He won the trophy before. So I think it will go to Cale Makar. I think Quinn Hughes would also be an excellent choice. It will be between these 2 guys. In the end, is it a coin flip between Hughes and Makar? I think so. Next up, Jack Adams, Coach of the Year. And there were some fantastic coaching performances this year. Just think about the 3 guys I have on the board. I have on the list John Tortorella from the Philadelphia Flyers. The Flyers, a team that was expected to be in the rebuild, and they are still in the playoff conversation. I don't think they will make it, but Tortorella turned the Flyers around. It was fantastic to see. Then I do have Rick Tocchet from the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks, a team that was not expected to be in the mix for the playoffs, maybe 500 season, most likely a little bit below. And look where they are. They are still first in the Pacific at the day of recording. Maybe the Oilers will catch them. We will see. Tocchet and what he makes the Vancouver Canucks play. It's fantastic. But I think this award will go to someone else. And yeah, I'm wearing Nashville for a reason. Because I think the Adams Award goes to Andrew Brunette from the Nashville Predators. He was the guy that coached the Florida Panthers to a President's Trophy win and then was replaced because it didn't work in the playoffs. And then he was an assistant coach last year for the New Jersey Devils that made the playoffs for the first time for quite some time. This year he's a head coach again in Nashville. Nobody expected anything from Nashville. The team that is mostly young players. What did you expect with a team from a team with Roman Josi, Ryan O'Reilly, Jussi Saros? Of course, these 3 players are excellent. Philip Forsberg, fantastic player. But the rest, and look what Andrew Brunette made of them. And I think this is worth the Jack Adams Award. Next up, the Gregory Award for the General Manager of the Year. I have on my list Patrick Allvin from the Vancouver Canucks. He fixed the defense, he fixed the offense, he already had Thatcher Demko in goal. And the Canucks are still under the cap. Re-signing Elias Pettersson, I think, important milestone for the next years. I do have Don Sweeney from the Boston Bruins on the board. He lost Bergeron, he lost Krejci, the 2 top centers, and he still managed to give Jim Montgomery a roster that he can compete with for the division title, and that's what the Bruins are doing. But I think this award will go to a first-year general manager. Again, I'm wearing Nashville for a reason. Barry Trotz, first-year general manager of the Nashville Predators. What can I say? Bring in some pieces like Ryan O'Reilly, keep some pieces like Philip Forsberg and Jussi Saros and Roman Josi, and surround them with the right supporting players. And Trotz hit it on the bottom. He got the right supporting cast for his star players. He fixed his cap situation. The Predators do have cap space for next year. They are in very, very good shape for years to come. Barry Trotz, the main reason for that. And finally, the first time I do have the Mark Messier Award, the Leadership Award on this board. And this will be Sidney Crosby on the board for a second time. The absolute leader of the Pittsburgh Penguins. All of the other star players are in decline. He is not. He is the guy that is the only reason for the Pittsburgh Penguins to be in the playoff conversation. Without Crosby, this would be nothing. His leadership provided on the ice, off the ice, everywhere. One of the all-time greats. And that's why I think Sidney Crosby should win the Mark Messier Leadership Award this year. Okay, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, in case anybody did, because the last video of this end of the season series got only 15 clicks, and the average duration of the watchers was 17 seconds. I'm pretty disappointed from that. I really hope this video does a little bit better. Thanks you if anybody made it to the end, and I will see you soon when I talk about the comparison between my prediction and the reality, and then I will do a playoff tree as well, but this will be on the day the playoffs will begin. Hope you'll see you there. Thanks again. Have a good time. Goodbye.